Hey Scorpios, Island Turtle here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. This is the monthly general reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. There's going to be a part 2 over on Patreon. You can also find it on Vimeo. Links are below. And if you're new, welcome. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. It does help the video circulate. And yes, there's a little kitty cat over there. He was sleeping very soundly during the Gemini reading. He's not sleeping soundly anymore, but we'll see. Are you going to settle? Clyde? Clyde, you gonna settle down? Oh, I think he is. It's funny because every time I start recording, he starts to he loves that chair. He just, he'll sit behind me. Yeah, he is. He's laying down. Okay, he's going to work too. Scorpios. So I was debating how I wanted to approach this reading because when I did Gemini, it became clear that it might be time for me to change up how I'm doing my readings. To maybe do one for people who identify as like healers, seers, light workers, shamans, that sort, and then ones that do not identify that way. And so I'm just debating how I want to go about this, like within the same video or separate videos. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I think for channel messages, we're just gonna try doing the same video. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Scorpio, you're really sensitive right now. Like all of your senses seem to be heightened right now. That could be because we still have some Taurus activity. Taurus is your 7th house for Scorpio risings, obviously, not for anyone who's not Scorpio rising. But anyway, neither here nor there. Taurus rules the senses. That's why I said that. Like you might be physically sensitive to smell, to sound, especially to feeling. I feel like just very sensitive sensory capabilities at this time. I also feel music and nature might be very important for you right now, might be very grounding, very soothing for you right now. Excuse me. But that's just initially what I'm getting for my Scorpios. I feel like my Scorpios I feel like you guys are trying to ground because you are so sensitive right now. I feel like you're trying to reflect as well. It feels like you're trying to hide under your rock right now, which is fine. And it's interesting too, right? Because in tropic astrology anyway, Venus is now in Leo. Actually, it's the day that I'm recording, Venus has shifted into Leo, which is spotlight energy. And you guys don't now Venus is going through whatever house you have for Leo, so just pay attention to that and whatever is being highlighted for you there to kind of be in the spotlight, pay attention to, give passion to, open your heart to. But Scorpios, I feel this wanting to hide because again, I think you're just really sensitive right now. But that's just what I'm getting initially. So let's dive in. I want to start. God, there's so many oracle decks that want to work with you, Scorpio. Where did I put the High Priestess deck? Yeah, there it is. So Priestess of Light definitely wants to work with you. This Star Codes Astro Oracle definitely wants to work with you. So here's what we're going to do this. I'm still going to keep this as Scorpio Collective, but there's going to be a point during the reading where I'm going to split it off into 2, okay? We're going to start with Priestess of Light here. So when I split it off into 2, the healer, shaman, light worker side, and then other, keep in mind you may resonate with both, okay? So take the messages as they resonate. But I'm starting with the Priestess of Light Oracle. All the decks that I use are linked below for your convenience. Okay. Scorpios. It's so funny how he does that. It's his workstation. He does do a lot of work for me on my behalf. He's my little familiar. Anyway. Any messages or insights for Scorpio? Someone rising Venus and Jupiter. I feel a lot of emotion with you, Scorpio. Now, because you're very sensitive right now, you could be sensitive to other people's emotions. Like you might be on verge of empathy overload for some of you. So keep that in mind. But I also feel like this might be why you need to hide, because maybe you are going into the deep, dark depths of you and you are becoming more sensitive because of that. Some of you, my light workers, healers, seers, etc. You could be going through an upgrade right now, but I feel like there's a lot going on with your heart. I do. Leo energy will do that too. I feel like there's a lot going on with your heart space right now. Thank you. They brought me to the sacral. Unexpressed energy from the sacral. Oh, that made my throat close up. There's a lot of sadness and emotion moving through your heart because of almost like unexpressed, unachieved unexperienced is not a word, passion. Like, you know, like there's been a lack of outlet for your passion, for your sacral. That could be sexually, that could be creatively, right? So just take it as it resonates, but that's what it's feeling like you haven't had a proper outlet to satisfy that part of you. That could even come back to inner child energy as well, because it's also play. It's also play and fun. But I feel like it's stirring up emotions. I think you're going through a little bit of a clearing here, Scorpio. Any messages or insights from my Scorpios? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Yeah, they keep bringing it back to the sacral. Yeah, again, unrealized. That's the word. Thank you. 555. I looked up at the camera and said that. Unrealized, unexpressed, lack of an outlet for sexual energy, for fun, for play, for creativity, sensuality, passion. And there's a lot of emotion behind that. And this could be stuff that's gone through in the past, and maybe you're again going through some like shadow work or a little bit of clearing, or there could be something going on in the present that's making you really feel that, like feel the lack of satisfaction for your passion. And you know, Scorpios, you guys are very emotionally attached to your passion. You're very emotionally attached to your sacral and expressions of that. And it's almost like the sensitivity on that has increased as well with your other sensitivities. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Any messages or insights for my Scorpios? Sun, Moon, Rising, we don't have any cards yet. For Scorpios, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, they're showing me numbers. 4s and 5s. 4s and 5s may be significant. They may be special numbers for you. You might be seeing 444, 555, 45, 445, 455. You guys know what I'm getting out there. Yeah. Okay. Any messages or insights for Scorpios? You want to be alone. You want to be alone. You do, but you don't. Sorry, Scorpios, I gotta call a spade a spade. You do, but you don't. You want all of that sacral fire, unexpressed passion to be expressed. That's what you want. But because there's all this emotion tied to it that also hasn't been expressed or dealt with, you want to be alone to deal with the emotion, is kind of what I'm getting. You want to be alone to deal with the emotion. And also, like I said, like you might be very sensitive right now, but deep down you want an outlet for that. You feel like you can't have it? Why do you feel like you can't have it? Let's see. Setting boundaries. Scorpio. Setting boundaries. Threshold, protection, honor, 30, breaking down to a 3. And then we have summoning power with a 4. 4 showing up for you. Instinct, intellect, and control. This is interesting because, first of all, these cards are, I mean, all the cards in this deck are great. Normally, I would read this as, you know, you're learning where to say no to people and you're standing in your power and you're feeling good and confident about it. But to be honest, Scorpio, I feel like you're isolating yourself. You could have been, excuse me. Oh, Scorpio. Remember when I said my throat got tight? When I tuned into the sacral? The throat and the sacral are very closely tied together. Too much to explain right now. You don't feel safe. That's what's really going on here. You don't feel safe, Scorpio. Some of you may have attempted an outlet, to create an outlet for your sacral. That could have been a relationship. That could have been a creative project. That could have been a hobby, like where you could have fun or go out. But again, it's this being seen energy, right? That comes with that you don't feel safe to do. And Scorpio, it's kind of making me sad because I can feel how much you want to have an outlet for your sacral. Again, play, creativity, sexuality, being seen, having fun, all of that sort of deal. Even like inner child a little bit. You want that. very, very much. Your emotions are so tied to that, but you also don't feel safe to do it. So you might have attempted, and then maybe it didn't go as planned, or maybe you attempted, and then you started to feel that twinge of insecurity, or I'm not safe, I need to hide, I need to hide, I need to hide. And then the sadness, the grief of that unexpressed, unrealized passion, sacral, sexual, creative, fun energy, not having that satisfied, not experiencing those things in the way that you actually really want, created that grief to be dealt with. You see where I'm going with this? 1044, and I looked up at the camera. More of those fours. So I actually feel like you're isolating. Now, it is good to say no to situations where you can't be received in, because some of you could have been experiencing that too, like I said, where it's like it didn't go as planned, right? Or didn't go the way you were hoping for or expected, and maybe that's because the outlets you chose or were attempting were not great outlets for you. Or maybe in attempting healthy outlets, you're remembering unhealthy outlets, and it's bringing up some emotion. But either way, Scorpio, I feel like you're trying to isolate and you want to hide to deal with the emotional grief of this unrealized fire, passion, sacral, etc. But what you really want is to have that received and seen and appreciated and experienced. And I do feel you want that shared, like as a shared experience with other people. Anything else for my Scorpios? Anything else for my Scorpios? Oh, the tenderness card almost came out. Ooh, this is a good card for Scorpio. Precognition. 13, bring it down to another 4. Psychic ability and future vision. Like I said, you're growing in your sensitivity. That's what I'm really feeling here. It's like everything's a little bit more sensitive, and you could be more open psychically at this time as a result of that. So some of you are definitely going through some sort of spiritual process, alchemy, if you will, but it's making you sensitive to everything. So I definitely think, like I said, music and nature was coming up for you. I would definitely utilize music and nature to really ground. And, if you got a bubble, then bubble, and that's fine, in order to deal with the consequences of having this intensified sensitivity for yourself. Okay? But be real about why you're potentially closing yourself off to people. Because there's a difference, right? There's a difference between bubbling energetically and isolating. There's a difference. One is hiding, and the other is maintaining the self, containing the self. They're different. So if you're hiding, ask yourself why. And if all you need to do is bubble instead. Any other cards that want to come out for my Scorpios? I also want to say it's also a difference between appreciating alone time, needing alone time, and then just completely isolating and hiding. There's a difference. River of Blessings, releasing constraints. 47, breaking down to an 11. We like seeing an 11 here, but we've got another 4 in that 47. But this is breaking down walls and barriers. Self-made prisons, just saying. For those of you guys who identify as like light workers, seers, etc., I need to find like a word that encompasses all of that. I actually don't really like the term light worker that much anymore. Something about it I just don't resonate with anymore. I guess spiritualist is an okay word. Meh. Meh. It'll come to me. The right word will come to me someday. Anyway, yeah, that's what I feel with this. It's like learning how to bubble, but not isolate, so that you can actually have experiences and outlets for your passion, your fire, creativity, sexual energy, play, all of that stuff, that sacral part of you, you can have outlets and experiences where that is realized, it's witnessed, it's shared, it's received, but you also feel safe in doing so. You feel safe emotionally and energetically. That's what I feel like is key for you, Scorpios, in this reading. Okay, overall, and look, 44. I mean, the fours are crazy. Like I said, I was getting 4s and 5s, and look, 44, 4, 13 bringing down to a 4, 47 a 4. The overall energy with 44, and underneath that we got 40. 4s all over the place for my Scorpios. Anyway, harvest of blessings. And then underneath that we have balance with stability and standing firm with those 4s. Ooh, I just have to point it out. Divine masculine energy. That's nice. I just wanted to point that out. Something about that felt really good. But Scorpios, like I've been saying, you want to have certain experiences. You want to have certain experiences. You want to have certain shared experiences or being seen or being witnessed. But in your fire, in your passion, in your sacral, creativity, sexuality, play, that's what you've been wanting. And I feel like I'm talking to Scorpios who've had a history of difficulty with that. And this is you finally being able to get to that point. Now, every reading a reader does, there we go, there are windows of opportunity. It's totally up to you how you navigate that, what choices you make, how you're creating your reality. This is just a window. It's just an opportunity. It's totally up to you what you do with it, right? But that's what I'm getting with you, Scorpio. Okay. I want to go ahead and pull some cards here. I think I'm going to split it off into the two groups here. So I'm going to focus on, I don't like the word spiritualist either. Spiritually gifted? No, that feels weird too. Well, you know, for now, I'll use the word spiritualist until I have a better word, but focusing on my spiritualist first, and then we'll go to people who don't identify that way. What deck do we want to use? What deck do we want to use? The native spirit deck is calling you, so we're just going to do that. Okay. Let's see. I haven't used this deck in a bit. I missed it, actually. For my spiritualist Scorpios, my seers, my light workers, my healers, my shamans, my magicians. Any messages or insights for these Scorpios? It feels like you're being primed. You're being primed for something. Because this achievement for you of getting to this point where you can have an outlet and be realized and witnessed, experienced, etc. with your fire, we'll just call it your fire. That to me feels like a personal emotional gift achievement versus just spiritual. But it feels like you need to master this first before something else can happen. And it's interesting because to do this, it really is about being a master of your own energy. That's really what it is. Because like you need to understand how to bubble, right? How to self-contain and manage your energy and your emotions in order to have a shared experience or to be witnessed in some way with your fire. Yeah, and with the right environment and the right people. Otherwise, it feels like you get hurt or you take on too much energy, and then it's like then you gotta like deal with shit and then you tend to isolate because you don't feel safe to do so. So that feels all very personal and emotional. But I feel like there's also a priming going on here for you Scorpios. Let's see. Tracker. I like it. This is a card of focus. This card is coming out to say, stay focused, stay focused, stay focused. And again, this is something that you're figuring out how to do. But tracker is just indicating you're doing the right thing. You recognize how to deal with this. Just stay focused and disciplined in it. It's kind of like my Saturn card. Anything else for Scorpio? Again, I got this primed energy. I keep getting like the path that you're walking and what's ahead and what's coming. So stay focused. Yeah, Sweat Lodge and Storyteller. This is exactly what's happening right now, right? Sweat Lodge comes out when we're clearing something. We're clearing something, we're cleansing something, we're releasing something, getting away from something. Storyteller comes out when we're talking about thought forms and programs and things like that, the narratives that we have for ourselves in our lives. And that's what Spirit's saying, like, hey, you're doing the right thing. You need to work on, this is saying just keep working on releasing this, like this thought form or this idea that you're not safe to share your fire. You are safe to share your fire. You need to figure out how to do that energetically in a way where you're not overwhelmed or overstimulated, and in a way where you're practicing discernment, that you're doing it with the right people in the right environment. Okay. Anything else from my Scorpios? One more. Grandmother Earth. Oh, Grandmother Earth comes out when, first of all, Grandmother Earth is saying, hey, I'm here for you. You know, connect with her, ground with her, give her this energy, release into her, release with her. But it also comes out when we have really great things ahead. When we have fun ahead, when we have joy ahead, which you do. Harvest, gathering of blessings, you do. And it's coming when you figure out how to, again, have these experiences with your passion and your fire. Overall, ancestors. Oh, I love that too. Oh, ancestors and talking stick. Very nice. And then another card, Spirit Keeper of the East. Very similar to Grandmother Earth. Spirit Keeper of the East indicates that there are new times ahead. There are times of abundance ahead. But Grandmother Earth is very similar to that as well. Ancestors with talking stick. Your ancestors are basically telling you this. Your ancestors are with you. Your spirit team is with you, and they're helping you through this process. Okay. All right, let's go over to the other side for people who don't identify as seers, light workers, shamans, etc. Let me have a sip of water. A lot of throat chakra energy coming up here, Scorpio. Why do you have so much throat energy? Oh, God, Scorpio. I'm debating what deck I want to use with you. Energy Oracle's calling, so is Starcode's Astro. We're going to go with Energy Oracle. Just curious. This card flew out. Happy family. That's like my 10 of Cups card. All right. My other Scorpios, we'll just call you Group 2. My Group 2 Scorpios. Any messages or insights for them regarding this spread? Any messages from my other Scorpios for Group 2 pertaining to this spread? Are you listening to your intuition? Or are you getting confused by your intuition? Getting High Priestess energy. Which Scorpios, you're naturally intuitive, as you already know. Oh, God, excuse me. Yeah, interesting. We got the Sun in reverse. I feel like you're confused. It's like I'm getting like High Priestess, 7 of Cups. Look, Crown Chakra in reverse. Something's off with your intuition, or you're not listening to it, or you're getting confused by it. We'll just say something's off. Excuse me. For my other Scorpios. Oh. You don't want to listen to it. That's what it is. The Garden and the Gate and the third eye chakra, you're being told to take a chance. Getting strong full card energy with that. You're not wanting to listen to it. That's honestly what I get. You're not wanting to listen to it because your intuition's telling you to do something that kind of the similar theme of that you don't feel safe to do it. You don't feel secure enough to do it. And it could be like a self-esteem thing. I'm feeling it's more about emotional security. Getting like Cancer vibes there. Your intuition's like, take that risk. Do it. Try. And you're like, no. And I think that's also why you're confused, because it's like your intuition is very clear, but you just don't like what your intuition is telling you. I'm glad I separated these. Yeah, okay. So there's just some stuff going on in the collective where they like these groups need to be separated for right now. So I'm just gonna roll with it. As y'all know how I do. Anything else from other Scorpios pertaining to this spread? You're scared. Why are you scared? Why are you scared? Why are you scared? You're scared. Suddenly the deck wanted to fly out of my hands. Anything else for my Scorpios on this side? Deceit. A Seven of Swords card. This is what you're scared of. Some of you, it's as basic as you're just struggling to trust yourself and trust your intuition. Some of you are terrified of taking a certain risk. And I want to, it's a risk only because you don't feel there's throat chakra energy here for this particular group. Like y'all know I've got sensitive throat chakra and I've been working on my asthma and stuff. But every time I try to talk about this, I like, oh, like my throat goes, oh. Like we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to go there. But coming back, sorry. So this particular group, some of you it's as basic as you just don't want to listen to your intuition or you're having trouble trusting it or trusting yourself. Others of you, it's like your intuition is saying you need to take a risk here. You need to try. You need to go there and you're worried you're going to run into this. Some of you, your intuition is telling you that something isn't right and that you almost need to jump ship. That's another group of you that I'm getting. Ooh, yeah, that feels very strong. Your intuition is telling you not to trust a certain person or situation and you need to jump ship. You know who you are. Yeah. The root chakra. In reverse with Archangel Michael. Again, also indicates not feeling safe because it is the root chakra. That's where we feel fear. When we don't feel grounded, we don't feel secure, we don't feel safe. Your intuition's trying really hard to guide you in the right direction, but you're really struggling to listen to it because, again, you either don't trust yourself or you don't trust your intuition or you just don't want to take a risk because you're worried about the consequences of taking a certain risk. And some of you are very aware that you need to jump ship on something and you're just like, I don't know if I can. Overall, we have caring connections with strategy, thinking man, and the temple path. Temple path is a nice card to get because temple path is basically saying that you're walking a path that's aligned to your soul. But this is you trying to figure that out. Now keep in mind, anything I pick up with you, Scorpio, because I'm picking up on energy for Scorpios, that could also pertain to cross watchers or people who are in your energy field or in your environment. So just take it as it resonates. But the overall energy is, how do I figure out what to do? How do I figure out the best course of action? With caring connections, there are people in the midst of this. Friendships, romances, business relationships, family. But this is, how do I make sure I do the right thing? How do I make sure I make the right choice? But then look, crown chakra in reverse again. Struggling with your intuition. Oh boy, this looks like it's the other side too. Man holding a coin and then thinking woman in reverse. We have the thinking man and the thinking woman. And then look, we got anxiety. So to me, it's looking like Scorpios who are on this side. Whoever it is that you're dealing with, and it could even be a group of people, it doesn't have to be one. But there's definitely people in the middle of this. There's caring connections, thinking man, thinking woman, There's clearly people involved in this. It's not just about you. But we clearly have one side that is not trusting and doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel secure. Their intuition's trying to guide them, but they're like, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to do. And the other person is like, we're just going to figure this out. Like one person seems very solid and secure, and like there just has to be a course of action, or there has to be communication. We just got to get on the same page. And the other party is just like, I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I can trust myself. I don't know if this is right. I don't know if this is wrong. I don't know. 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 So Scorpio, you could be on either end of this here. Okay. Wow. All right, let's go ahead and get into part 2. And then we're going to start up again with my spiritualists, my spirituals, and other. Other. And it's interesting too, right? Because Scorpio, even the way you could read this, I just realized this, is that you could identify as the spiritual side, and then the other side could be the other party. Totally could be the case. So again, take it as it resonates. But let's go ahead and get into part 2. And if you are leaving us here, I hope you enjoyed this reading so far, and I hope it was helpful and insightful. If you're joining us for part 2, I'll see you soon. Take care.